But what are you guys thinking of it so far?
I think it's a fun system.
I like it a lot. It takes a little bit to get the hang of combat, but I like it. I kind of especially like how I don't have to worry about attacking because I just sit off to the side and rally people.
Well, and I think it's one of those things that once you get used to how the rules and the mechanics sort of relate, you can get through things pretty quickly, actually, because it's just, you're rolling basically a handful of dice, you're just aiming for a high number, and that's it.
Yeah, I like that. I kind of like that. I like that it's not it has nothing to do with AC.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about counting up bonuses really so much. Whenever you get a bonus, it's just throw another dice out. Does it hit? Okay.
My statement was so inconsistent with my character, it broke his internet connection. I still like the fact that I was a dick enough to bring this guy back to life, wake him up, and then try and ram him again. Shut the fuck up!
What I find great also about this system is how you rolled up your character randomly, and he's still a functional character.
It's still pretty good, man.
He's still pretty functional. Yeah, absolutely.
I got to admit, it turned out pretty good for this guy.
I think, and one of the big points about the game that I think one of the things we got lucky with, we never botched anything yet. Because most of the main rolls we've done, we've always had at least 2 dices going, and if you roll, the only thing we botched was we were trying to be deceitful going down that road.
Yeah, that was not good. It turns out Brits are not good at deceit.
No.
And I feel sorry for Liam because he fell asleep again. I know he works hard, so I didn't really want to go that late, but
yeah.
Well,
no. There's a difference between rolling underneath the challenge and rolling straight ones across the board. Botching only happens if you roll ones across the board. So
I swear to God, if we meet a baker named Bomar, we might have to just end it there.
Bormar, that's a horrible one.
I did like Arclight's attempt to attack a corpse to intimidate, something that had never happened in the game before, according to Rafferty. I thought that was funny as hell. Well, okay, I'm alone in thinking that.
I thought it was neat though that you just brought up a circumstance. I was like, I never thought about that.
I never thought about that. So you want to eviscerate the corpse? Huh? You are a special group of players, aren't you? I thought it was funny. I don't know. I like the system. It's a bit to get used to because we were playing D&D for so much,
yeah.
But it makes sense when you start playing it.
The initial learning curve is basically it's a initially steep curve that it levels off very rapidly.
It does level off very quickly. That's a hell of a lot better and a hell of a lot more than I can say for Burning Wheel, which that learning curve just keeps growing, man.
Or hell, Aces and Eights. I mean,
Aces and Eights is 100 times worse.
I mean, the way that the combat's set up is relatively simple. So you got 2 actions or 3 if you're in focus, and then you have attacks and defenses.
Yeah,
there you go.
And I like the initiative. It's good guys versus bad guys. It's not individuals.
Right. Exactly. The initiative rolls really only to determine how ready you are for combat.
Which, to be honest with you, I'm starting to think I might adopt that for D&D.
Just to make it
just to make it flow a little better. It does make initiative flow better.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here.
Because when you think about it, that's usually how it ends up anyways, except maybe 1 or 2 players dispersed in the middle of combat.
Right. Yeah, the jackal picture is really nice.
Is it jackal picture?
Yeah.
Which one's that?
I got a link. I'll throw it
Webvig Addict or Briars?
Webvig Addict.
Huh. Oh, look at that. It's a jackal.
That's the one that Chris Goodwood did for the jackal class.
And there's a giant gorilla in a dress.
Yeah. No, the giant gorilla in the dress. There's one that's for the portrait, and it basically depicts the gorilla in that case as being like essentially a mistress of sorts. Runs a brothel.
It's always a bunny. There's always bunnies for whatever reason. Bunnies and foxes.
Yeah, there's 2 different races. There's 2 different types of foxes in this game.
Yeah, there's the gray and the red foxes, right?
Yep.
Roll initiatives to see which is the cumulative initiative rolls. Turns out bad guys' rolls were higher, they go first, or their average is better, they go first. I was thinking just cumulative. I don't know. I'd have to get feedback from everyone first.
Mm-hmm.
But I did enjoy the combat. That was good. And once I figured out that the horns were probably my best option, I was like,
that was just kind of cool. I mean, for me, I'm just kind of For me, I'm just kind of glad that my speccing him as kind of an unarmed fighter actually worked out really well for David.
He's back online. We're going to get him into the call again.
I just surprised. I was like, okay, I'm going to wrestle this guy down. Okay, I'm going to jump and wrestle this guy down. It works.
And then I came up and I speared him through the heart with my horns.
Well, my problem was...
Because the thing was, I really wasn't rolling that well, so I didn't expect to kill him.
Yeah, my whole thing was that my biggest problem was that when I tried to counter wrestle him, I tried to do non-lethal, so my one success wasn't enough.
Arclight's back? Oh, he's not.
He just messaged sorry back.
Sorry back. Welcome back, Arclight. You fall asleep?
Yes.
Dude, do you want to go to sleep, man?
No, because now I am back second win, motherfucker.
All right, man. Well, Norman just came online. I'm giving him a call. I don't know if he's going to answer. We'll see.
He probably just had, interderping.
Yeah, that's all right. My character personality conflict just made him crap himself.
Yeah. Here, Liam, if you're bored, check out the there's the Flickr gallery of the color versions of all the species portraits. So check out the panther one. There's a lot of good detail in it.
Let's check that.
Arclight attacks more corpses to wake up.
I still think that was an awesome idea. That's nothing more.
That was an awesome idea.
I think it's I think
it's feline. Like slice.
I don't think Norman's actually back. Trying to call him, he's not answering.
He's probably just loading up his PC. Probably his PC might have fucked up.
Yeah, his PC might have derped, and it's probably loading real slow and shit. I do like that. I do like the fact that you tried to eviscerate a corpse to make someone scared, and they had never thought about that in the playtesting. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what kind of motherfucker would be so fucked up to eviscerate a corpse? Us.
Now he's back.
Now he's back. All right, let's get him back in. Hey, Norman, how you doing?
Sorry about that. Some lightning went off and the power went out in my neighborhood for 1 second. And for some reason, it took my internet a long time to get back on. So I'm guessing they did the switch box or something. I'm on a UPS, so I'm still running, but everything else went down.
You gotta love UPSs, right?
Are you still on a UPS?
No.
Okay.
My power flickers.
Oh, it just flickered. Okay.
Yeah, my power flickers, and usually it's not a big deal, but for some reason the internet didn't come back on. I was just looking up the number to call the cable company to figure out what's up. Every now and then something happens in the junction box, but I'm back. Sorry about that.
Hey, welcome back. Do you want to reconnect the map tools? Or?
Yeah, we also got Arclight back too.
Yeah, he woke up.
Boom!
Hooray!
Hey.
Well, it's just a win-win, so I guess we need to edit that out.
Arclight, are you working tomorrow? Do you need to sleep?
No.
All right. I don't want to make you miserable, you know.
Oh no, Lil Sec is trying to stop the podcast.
No, I doubt it.
Let's see here.
Last I heard, /TG was actually watching us for a little bit, so... Hi.
Hi. Let's see here.
Although I'm not quite sure what they have to do with Wolfsuck, but whatever. You never know. Maybe not.
I'm looking at the Raven picture. It looks like he's some sort of plague doctor or something.
Arclight need not sleep. Arclight forever.
They drew. That's what God bless Chris Goodwin and his inventiveness.
Yeah.
Do you need the address again, Norman?
No, but I think I forgot to say I was a game master, so let me try that again.
All right. Remember, no password, so...
Looks like I am connectified.
Yes, you are. And before your power derped, I was actually going to ask you, since before we lay down for the night, I was going to go around the church and see if I can heal some people.
Sure. I mean, we could keep going for a couple more hours, or we could wrap it here. It's up to what you want to do.
What do you guys think? Because I'm good to go. I have shit to do tomorrow.
I'm good.
All right. How about you,
Yeah,
Stitch?
I'm good, man.
I'm good for a little more.
Then we're almost done, because we got a couple things to wrap up, because there's a wrap-up session built into it, and I'd rather end on a high note.
Yeah.
So I'm glad everyone is enjoying the game. So we're going to go ahead and end the chapter here with Goodwill stroking his goat beard, thinking, what is so special about this place? What does this symbol mean? Dun, dun, dun. And that is going to go ahead and end the chapter.
Yay.
Now, the chapter is ended. Anyone who has any chapter gifts, such as luck, may go ahead and refresh those, because those will only be used once a chapter. Okay. Also, at the end of every chapter, there's a variant rule that the game master can give out 1 experience point, and I like to do that. So that's 1 experience point for everybody, just 1.
Yay!
There's an experience point track in the lower right, and we could keep going for a little bit longer. But the next part that the game recommends is after any game, there should be basically a short debriefing session. Now, as a debriefing session, I must ask you again what your motto was to see if you lived up to it. So, Skitch, tell me, what was your character's motto?
Get them before they get you.
I believe you ran up and throttled a bunch of people before they could get a chance to do anything. You have earned 1 experience point for living up to your motto.
That's right.
Arclight, what was your motto?
I'm still not a platypus.
You're still not a platypus. I'm going to give you 1 experience point, but I will highly encourage you to get another motto before the next game. And Rollo?
I'm getting too old for this shit.
You did get shot by a bunch of guys and then ran for cover. And, oh my God, they're shooting me! And then you guys just go back out there and get there. I'm safeguarding you from beyond the side of this mountain or whatever. You guys will be fine. So I think that's worth a point.
Yeah.
And Jason is Goodwill Hunting.
I don't think I lived up to my motto. Light them on fire, then run away.
Honestly, I didn't see you lighting anybody on fire. So.
You should probably put with the horn.
Metaphorical. It's
Now,
about a brazen nature.
If you want to go ahead and make up new mottos, you can go ahead and do that. The purpose behind the motto is just so we have some idea what your character is on about. It's not that big of a deal. It's just like, it's kind of like alignments, only instead of alignments, you guys can make anything up just as long as we know what your character is on about. That gets us to do something. That was the entire point behind the motto. Sometimes some people read that and go, is this some kind of attempt to like control the character? It's like, guys, we just want you to role play. Pick something to role play about.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you ever gamed with somebody who's just, I think there was some talk earlier about some guys who were complaining about some guys show up but they don't really game. They just kind of hang out and they like always show up late and only game for an hour or so and then leave. Someone I think in the it was one of the Q&As that we had at the tabletop.
Yeah.
Right, and that's just, like, well, what are you asking these guys what they're on about, what they want to do, what they get out of the characters? It's a chance to give people to get involved. So, if you want to make a new motto, it doesn't cost anything to make a new motto. It's just by the next session, just think about what it is you want to do with the character, and that way, as a game master, I know what you're on about.
I got a new quote. Instead of, I'm too old for this, I'm going to change my quote to, even with my age, the world still needs my help.
I'm gonna change mine to, is Goodwill gonna have to headbutt a motherfucker?
There you go.
Now I can live up to that one.
That's an easy one.
Okay, now also during the debriefing, I want to ask if anyone had any goals that they've accomplished.
Well, I got paid, so I got mine.
I've actually done 2 goals. I've Tasso, got him, and I've also got a contract, i.e. that contract for Tasso, which is basically the same thing, but shut up.
Well, actually, I'm sorry, those are supposed to be the same thing.
I joined the party.
Okay, well, first we'll go ahead and do Chris's joined a party. Congratulations, Skitch, you joined a party, so I'm supposed to give you a gift in return for that. Now, I'll be honest with you, the major reason for that rule is you've never played Ironclaw before, and if you ever played a role-playing game the first time and you play it, and suddenly someone says, oh, wait, you don't have the gift of resolve? Didn't you know you need that to have an extra soak die so you don't die? Or something like that comes up in the game where you're like, if you'd already played the game once, you would have probably known that you needed that, but you didn't think to take it. So the reason why we have the gimme goal is, honestly, it's so after you play the game at least once, you can talk to the game master, and if there was something that you like really should have had but didn't, we can give it to you after you played the game at least once.
It's a cool little, I like that.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think, Chris, were you missing anything? I don't think you were.
Not necessarily. I mean, I try to stay out of combat as much as it is, and with Coward and Pacifist, I pretty much have a kind of ridiculous defense kind of buff as it is. Not being able to doctor people, I guess, but...
I actually, but you already have first aid, which is...
I have first aid.
Didn't come up that much in the game, but it can be a lifesaver, because it's like the D&D thing where it... what is the one in D&D 4th edition? It reduces...
Combat medic?
Yeah, combat medic. I mean, that's one of those feats that, like... You take it, you wonder, is this ever going to be useful? And then you go, oh my God, that saved everybody's life. So I'm going to go ahead and give Chris the gift of True Leader, which is a gift that you probably didn't notice the first time around. It's one of the Keystone Gateway gifts. True Leader says that when you rally people, you can also give them the gift of focus, which means you can rally people even if they don't need healing and just give them focus, which can give them 3 actions.
Oh,
sweet.
so I could focus instead, so as a boon I can give them focus?
As a boon, you can give them focus. So, like, there were a couple times where you had more successes than you needed. So, True Leader is a very popular one for the healers. They go, like, after I buff them all this stuff, well, I can also give them focus. And that can make you very deadly. So I'm going to go ahead. And,
I'll take that.
like I said, a gift that you probably didn't even know you needed, which actually brings us back to Skitch. Skitch, your goal was to get paid, but as near as I can tell, you're also pretty decked out, aren't you?
I'm pretty decked out. I mean, like, the only thing that I'm trying to think of that would be useful for David would be either. I'm trying to think of this. I mean, I kind of spec'd him out pretty nicely. There's certain things I could pick up, either literacy or something regarding either mobility or kind of helping with his attacking ability, but I'm not quite sure. Or
you've already got resolve and you've already got veteran, right?
No, I do not have veteran actually.
Oh, then I'm going to give you veteran. Veteran is going to be a lot more important later in the game. If you notice, the bad guys every now and then would aim or guard, and they would get D12s, and they get those because they have the gift of veteran.
Right.
Which the gift of veteran can make a big difference, because you'll notice that later on the bad guys will start using that against you, and if they're rolling 11 or 12s, they're locking you out. So
Yeah,
so
those times where you had
that. You're getting locked out. So veteran is definitely what I'm going to go ahead and give you.
All right.
So you may not. I mean, we recommended that in the book, and like I said, you seem to be doing fine with everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So Arcalite, did you accomplish your goal?
Oh well, mine was actually get paid as well. It was just get the contract, get paid well. So.
Okay, so you got a contract and got paid. I'm trying to think if you were missing anything either. Let's see. Oh yeah, you're the shield guy. I think we should definitely give you the
Shield
gift
Soak. Yeah.
Shield Soak, which turns your shield die into a soak die. So now it's both a defense die and a soak die. You use the shield quite a bit, and I think you asked about that. So once again, something like you may have thought of but didn't know. I'm the game master. I know the game a little bit better. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give that to you. And
Thank you very much.
Let's see. What about Jason? Did you
And
have,
once again, I did not meet my goal. However, I would like to say I am one step closer to it.
Well, and also, I might try to reward you with an even juicier gift, like a more special gift if it takes a little bit longer to accomplish. I mean, if you get it now, if you get it later, you did headbutt somebody to death. That was pretty cool. So you're going to go ahead and try to land that contract and keep working for it. So we don't want to discourage people from making hard goals. It was
this goal's going to take a few sessions. I'm gonna kiss ass to the king, baby.
Then there you go. That was the goal.
Pissing off the magistrate might not have been the best way to do that.
No, I think I think ultimately in the end it's going to be a balance of making them second guess the reward, and then at the same time I'm going to have to slyly slip in there and say, well, if you sponsored me for a voyage.
No, I like how this is. So I'm hoping you're enjoying the fact that the Ironclaw was designed to be a pretty good mix of both intrigue and combat.
Yeah, I actually really like this system. Especially the goals are actually what I think really excite me. Because now there's both the in-story reward and the mechanical reward for accomplishing these things. And I think that's a great way to kind of
especially, like, for example, we notice a lot of people in games don't usually buy favors or connections or insider with their points, even if it's an option. Because I noticed that in the game. People would say, why am I spending points on something that might turn into a favor from somebody when I could be spending those points on more killing power, which are numbers I can see in my face. I mean, I can see a +2 attack bonus. I know what that is. A gift that says the church might give me a favor later. I don't know what that is. That's not saving me when the Displacer Beast is eating my face right now. So that's why we give those out as rewards. That's why I said you accomplished the goal, here's your insider. Now, if you don't want the insider gift, you can get permission from me, the game host, and I can let you burn it for 5 experience points. But you have to get my permission first. And that's an easy one, because you can just say, well, look, I cheesed off the magistrate, and I don't spend any time. I mean, they've forgotten about me already, so you just get the 5 experience points. But it costs 10 points to buy a new gift, so you have to ask yourself if it's worth it. During a longer campaign game, the game master is encouraged to go ahead and give out insider gifts a lot for the little things, and then you just save that Low Valley. Here's insider with Low Valley. You guys are going, when we're coming back here again, you'd all burn it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Now, unfortunately,
Okay,
Chris disconnected, so he'll probably be a little bit before he comes back.
Okay, I guess it's disconnect night.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, I'm just looking over kind of what I have here. Now, for a character like mine, when I earn enough points to add a skill mark, for example,
Yes, 4 points.
Right, I'm debating just throwing that into brawling.
You can do that.
It just bring it to put in the 4 marks and basically have 3d10 when I make basic brawling attacks.
Right, and it's worth it. The game it balances itself because even though bigger dice can roll numbers, you can roll bigger numbers. You'll also see that, they don't always roll big numbers. I mean, I saw some really low rolling tonight on both sides.
Oh, I know, yeah.
So it can happen. So the game balances itself out. So yeah, you could do that. Any questions about how the game? Did something happen during the game where you're just scratching your head, going, "What was that?" or "Why did he say that?" or something like that?
Well, here's the thing. I was looking. One of the things that confused me was the dice in the skills.
Yes.
Dice from marks, species, and career. Mm-hmm. All right.
Now, yes, the dice you get from marks are when you have one mark, you have 3 columns basically. For
D4,
dice
D6, D8.
Mm-hmm. Right.
For marks.
Yeah. I mean, basically, if you have 1 mark in a skill, you get a D4 in it. If you have 2 marks in a skill, you get a D6.
And a 3 is a D8.
Mm-hmm. Right, a 3 is D8.
Okay,
4 is a D10, and 5 is a D12.
Now, for example, I've got academics, 3 marks. That's a D8.
Yes.
Now, my
D8.
career also says I include a career dice with that one. What is a career dice?
That is your D4 that you put with your career.
Okay, that's where the extra D4 came from for the D12 in academics.
Right.
Yes.
So,
now,
so you actually roll a D8 and a D4. When I ask you to make an academics roll, it's D8 and the D4.
Okay. Now, it also comes. Now, Explorer also comes with searching, but I don't have any marks in that. Do I still get the career dice for that?
You still get the career die.
Okay, still get the career dice. So that's what I was screwing up. Okay.
Yeah, you don't get to designate a favorite use for it because you have no marks in it, though.
Yeah, I didn't get enough time to spend actually reading the book, but I think.
Right. But yeah, basically that's the way it works. It's basically the career die is just another die that hangs out with your other dice. You can do at least 3 things. You have an Explorer of D4. You can do at least 3 things in a D4, right. And you can do anything related to an Explorer. But we used to have it just be vague. We used to have it just be like you're an explorer or you're a farmer or whatever. You get a D8 in anything farmer related. But we discovered if we didn't say at least 3 things it did, some people would get in debates on whether they thought it was, like when does this actually apply? Like, when does being a farmer help you? So we decided that when we wrote the game up, we said, look, we're going to pick 3 things it always applies to. And it applies to more than this, but you get at least 3 things because you might have one of those game masters that doesn't let you get away with anything. So
now the species dice. That's a D4 also.
No, yours is a D8.
Yours
My
is a D8.
species dice is a D8. What does it specifically say that?
Because it's one of the things you picked. It's one of the dice you picked.
Yeah, it's when you started the game. You
got I'm sorry. Yeah, that's my species dice. So my species dice from. Oh, I get it. So my species dice I picked goes to the species dice column in the skills. Oh, I see. I was having such a hard time with that. I'm so stupid.
Right. Yeah.
Some people do. I've discovered that it's one of the biggest strengths of the game, but it's also like something people I know. It's just we try to describe it in a way that makes sense to everybody, and it's like every now and then, some people just don't.
Okay, so I'm a complete idiot. When I was making the endurance rolls, I should have rolled a 20.
Well, you should have rolled whatever dice granted from marks, and in addition, extra dice granted from your.
Yeah, I should have rolled D20 then, or I should have rolled D8, D8, D4.
D8, D8, D4.
And you actually don't add the dice together.
Yeah, you don't add them together. They're individual rolls. Okay,
right,
I get you.
So,
I'm catching on. I'm slow and stupid, but I'm catching on.
The idea is not to have a high dice; it's to have more chances of success.
Yeah.
And a much harder chance of botching because rolling straight ones across the board is something you never want to do.
I didn't see it happen a lot in this game, but as you can see, rolling ones can really nerf your day. But that we give you insurance against that. You have your favorite use, which is insurance against that. And
okay, so when we were doing the academics check, my academics should have been a D8, D4, not a D12.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, but you also, and then there are gifts that can give you specialty bonuses to small things. Like, for example, cartography gives you a bonus to your academics, but only for map reading. It doesn't give it to you for medicine or history or anything like that. And that gives you a bonus, and it says in the rules that gives you a bonus D12.
Yeah, okay.
So there are specialty bonuses. It would be like saying we're playing, like D&D 4th edition, where we say we're going to give you a +5 to sense motive, but only against nobility or something like that. or sorry, +5 to insight, but only against nobles, or you get a +4 to your bluff, but only among the high class, or something like that. We have a lot of situational bonuses like that. Gotcha. I always thought those were one of the more interesting rules, so there's a lot of them. So yeah, you were still rolling those D12s because cartography gives you the big bonus, and research gives you the bonus. Yep, so yeah, no, you're a master of libraries. You really are.
Well, I guess as an explorer, you kind of have to be.
We did your gift, didn't we?
Inside a royal palace.
Oh no, that's right. No, you haven't accomplished your goal yet. Okay,
right. I didn't accomplish the goal, and I didn't meet the motto.
So I'd like to thank everyone for participating in the debriefing. We put a debriefing in the game because I've discovered that a lot of times people will play a game, and when they're done, they'll say, "Oh, yeah, that was okay. It was okay," or whatever. And later they'll be complaining on their blogs or whatever. Like, I had the worst time playing D20 Star Wars yesterday. I had all these Jedi powers, and they never worked or anything. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm stupid. So people would complain later, but there was never an actual no one actually said, it's okay to talk about it right now while we're at the gaming table with the people who can actually do something about it. So that's why Ironclaw has built into it a debriefing session. And to encourage you to participate in the debriefing session, we give everybody 1 experience point for showing up for the debriefing session. So everybody gets 1 point. I mean, we could have just given you 1. Some games just give you 1 point.
Is that in addition to the point we already got, or is that?
Yep,
okay.
That's in addition. If we'd actually gone on further, we probably would have beaten 2 chapters, and we could have gotten 2 chapters done in one day. But that's an addition. Cool. It sounds like a lot, but you realize it's going to take 4 points to buy a new skill and 10 points to buy a new gift. And I don't think anyone even has 4 points yet.
No, I have 3 right now.
I have 3.
So you are welcome to sell things back. If you bought something and don't think it's you can retrain it, you don't think it's worth your while, you can go ahead and retrain it. But I don't think anybody here has any gifts or whatever they thought were just totally useless.
No, I like what I have right now.
No, in fact, I'm sorry, go ahead.
On my attack dice, I've got a D10 for body, 2D8 for melee combat, and 1D8 is for the the saber.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've been missing out D8 rolls for strength. Oh,
yes, D8. You get an extra D8 on attack rolls for strength, but it doesn't apply to counters.
But not defensive rolls.
Yep. But the game can get kind of complicated. That's why, if someone's real new to the game, I'll just say, look, I'm just going to give you increased trait and everything, so you don't have any special things to worry about. You'll just have D8s to do anything, and off you go. And in fact, you may notice that with the NPCs, the host's book and the sample bad guys, you may have noticed a lot of D6s showing up, and that's because all the bad guys have are D6s in everything that they do. So I don't have to look at any tables to memorize. I just know that bandits have D6s in melee combat and dodge, and their stats are all D6s. So they're just rolling 2D6 to kill you, and they're rolling 3D6 with their soak, and off I go. I don't even have to memorize their sheets or anything.
That's actually pretty cool. So you don't have to. The whole idea of stats then makes it really easy to set up encounters.
Yeah, and the game is set up so I can decide how many how many D6 guys should I have, how many D8 guys should I have, and how many D10 guys can be pretty nasty. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you realize if someone has D10s in all skills and all stats, they can actually be pretty badass. And I could go in the encounter theory, but. The other thing I think that helps keep the game steady, because someone asked how you keep from having a TPK or wiping the whole party out. There's that combat save gift that we added in the game, which says you get 1 out of death free. And that is very liberating to me as a game master, because I used to kind of walk this line of, I'm really worried I'm going to go ahead and one-shot one of the characters. And the original playtests of Ironclaw showed, man, you could get all it takes is one botch, and you'll just get totally one-shotted, because they'll just nail you for 9 points of damage. And we said, what can we do to try and fix this? And then later we said, screw it. Let's just give everybody a gift that says they get 1 out of combat death free, and let the one-shotting begin. And that way, as the game master, I don't have to worry about it. I can still kill you, because an overkill result still knocks you down to the dying result, and combat save doesn't work against other things like falling off cliffs and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's right there in the rulebook where I don't have to worry about it. I'm just going to throw these deadly guys at you, and once you tap your combat save, that's the alarm bell to you that you're going, wait a minute, I don't have any more of these things.
So Norman, I got to ask you, are you going to look into adding a coup de grace skill?
Actually, impaling weapons are ideal for cooing because an unconscious target cannot retreat.
Well, I mean, well, let me not just coup de grace. I mean, what Liam wanted to do to eviscerate a corpse.
Oh, you mean like butchering a corpse